Aries, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will take you from the 2nd to the 9th. So, I've already done your June general readings. Your relationship readings are on Vimeo. I think Aries, you've probably got the most confusing reading of the whole month. I didn't know if you're walking away, walking towards. Nothing I can do, guys. I have to work with what I'm given in the cards. So I'm going to pull you an additional guidance card before I pull your weekly cards, okay? You got Go the Distance, very Aries card, as an energy of endurance and not giving up. That sort of warrior energy. I'm a bit intrigued. Some of you might actually be travelling as well this week. But let me have a look, because there's a feeling, when I look at this card, he's about to cross a finish line. And it's like there's a last need for power, Aries, for energy to keep going to complete something, okay? But we'll find out what it's all about. Obviously your ruler has gone into Cancer, so quite a lot of the time in Cancer is going to be about your emotions and family life, authenticity, but particularly around your emotional nature. And actually that makes sense of your general reading now. Okay, sorry about that, but let's give me 6 cards for the sign of Aries, please. So what's behind you, sorry guys, is the Death card, okay? So there's obviously been some sort of change, maybe some sort of loss. Let me carry on, Aries. The gift is the 5 of Discs. As a gift, that means there's going to be a rift that's been brought together. The challenge is the Hierophant. The Empress is showing up as how other people are showing up for you. You've got 2 Taurus cards already coming through. Taurus card always represents traditions, the earth, the soil under your feet, okay? Mother Nature, but also the ancestors, energy of tradition. Let me look. Knight of Pentacles underneath the 5 of Discs. So if some of you have been struggling with a financial issue, it looks like there's a bit of movement around there, guys, okay? Because the 5 of Discs is the gift, and the fact of the Knight of Pentacles coming underneath it is he's now on a horseback, so there's changes going on. And the outcome, ooh, the Fool. Beautiful. Isn't it funny that you start on the Death card and you end in the 0? Aries, Aries, what have you got going on here? The Death card behind you, so there might have been, I mean, the Death card now and again does represent a physical death, okay? It's a card of transmutation. So basically it shows up when the life that we've been living, we've outgrown it, okay? Now, a lot of people try and avoid the energy of transformation and transfiguration because it's can be quite a challenging process to go through it. And I think that's what the Go the Distance card might have meant. The 5 of Discs is a challenge. So again, if there's been a financial issue, there might be a healing of that. So for any of you who are waiting for that, I really wish you all the best. And this is relationships. There might be someone who's stepping out to try and heal a rift. Because in the image of the 5 of Pentacles, you can see it quite clearly. Someone is actually putting their hat into the light. Now the light is not a cliche. It's what brings light and life into this world. There might be a bit of a healing of a rift here. think I'll clarify. What's the Five of Pentacles about for Aries, please? Yeah, definitely there's something, because it's with the Nine of Cups, which is about your heart's fulfillment. There's some very deep heart energy here. Maybe you've been in this rift from someone. Maybe some of you have gone through a separation, by the way. There was a feeling of that in the general readings. But what you're going towards is your heart's desire. The challenge is the Hierophant, which is about tradition, the establishment, all the shoulds and coulds. Almost like this idea of the superego, yeah? The structures that society tell us that we need in our lives in order to be an acceptable person. Classic example is a person who says, oh, unless you're married, you cannot be a happy person. That's the rules of the Hierophant. And Aries, that's not what you're about. You're really about the energy of initiation, of new pathways and new life directions. Can I just carry on before I make any sort of guess here? The other people are showing up for you as the Empress. The gift is the healing, potential healing of a rift around something that's you're very connected with your heart. So again, it could be a Taurus energy, or it could be someone very, very the Empress is a very, very beautiful, very loving energy. And this is what's showing up in your relationship house. She also holds the Venus sign. So she's about love. You can touch, you can see, and you can feel. So whatever's going on in your relationships, this Empress energy, I think, is really, really helping you heal the rift, Aries. Some of you classically might be going through a bereavement. You might be leaving one situation behind, and the situation that you're moving into is about reconnecting with the source of joy. Now, Aries, we can live without most things in our life for a little period of time, but living without joy is like living without air. That's joy and energy of the heart is a God-given right to be connected with our heart and our heart's desires. And maybe some of you have had to go through some huge process to reconnect with this. But reconnecting, you are. Now for you who this is a financial issue, I think there's going to be a lot of change, Aries, by the way. I think it's going to be definite. It's going to be slow, but it's happening, okay? But I think for a lot of you, it's also a story about there's been some sort of separation or division, and the healing of that energy is what's going on here, because the Empress heals whatever she touches. Now the outcome is the Fool card, which is about new horizons, new opportunities that are opening up for you. It's also the Zero, and you don't get to live in 0 point if you're carrying the energy of being in this energy of, actually I haven't got conflict, I've got the energy of maybe being divided from someone. You don't get to be in the Fool. The Fool travels empty-handed, which means he carries no karma. All his debts are owned. He owns his apologies. He doesn't go about throwing his crap at other people. He walks through this earth as a free spirit. And you only get to walk through this earth as a free spirit when you learn to heal the divides between you and other people. Everything in this universe it's a very interesting universe, to say the least. But in esoteric law, something almost must be given up in order for you to get this new beginning, okay? And quite often what needs to be given up, energy of resentment, the energy of, it can be anything. But when we begin to heal the energy of the Five of Discs, we get to live in this place that is literally beyond human comprehension. It's almost like we walk through the world as a free human being. Sometimes it's about apologising, and there's this rule, and sometimes I get, oh, why should I apologise? You know, we apologise for any parts that we play in any situations in order that we may become happy, joyous and free. It's about owning our lives, Aries, essentially. I think for some of you there's definitely a financial movement, but I think some of this is relational. And the fact that I feel that is because in most of my readings, that's what the Five of Pentacles seems to represent. It can be a feeling of scarcity financially, but sometimes we can even heal financial scarcity by healing the energy of damage that we've caused in the past, any rifts between other people, and trying to reach out for resolution. I want to ask for an advice card for you. I'm intrigued by your reading here, Aries. I love it. What's an advice card is a Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a rainbow card. It's the light and the rainbow after a storm. And that's for the Five of Pentacles is the gift. There's a healing of an emotional situation here if you choose to do it. But it's literally the energy of the Empress that gives me that feeling. Tell me more about the Empress, please. What's she about? Yeah, tell you. Star card. Two energies are very much the divine feminine. Grace. And grace comes from the hymn Amazing Grace. It's that sense of there's something to do, Aries, about healing the rift between you and other people. It might only be one person. This is the Aquarius card. This is the Taurus card. It's there's a pouring out, there's an authentic dialogue that's required here, because as we give, we're automatically filled up. And it might come from you reaching out. What will stop you is always that sense of guilt, blame. Why should I? Why should you not, Aries? If you want to live this life with a full card, we live our lives without a karmic debt behind us, which means we're free to go wherever we choose in this life and in this planet. And if we've got unresolved energy, we cannot do that. For some of you, there might be that Five of Discs wants to be healed. I think it's a relationship issue. I can't. And it's because of these cards in your relationship house. They're not cards that show up every day. And the challenge of the Hierophant is, so some of you, again, that was very clear in your June reading, are potentially breaking a situation up, okay? That's what the feeling was. For you that are doing that, I think go the distance. You know when you've got a plaster and you poke about with a plaster, sometimes what you need to go in and be decisive and straightforward. They say that it's better to be stung by a bee than to be stung with 1,000 lies. That creates the most difficult situation, Aries. And for any people who are watching this, if this story's yours, it never ends in a good place. There might be the energy of straightforwardness and you following the energy of your heart. Some of you might need to heal some rifts. You know what? Tell the Hierophant to do one. All that pride, all these reasons why, well, I'm not doing it. All these rules. Give yourself a break, Aries. Get to walk through this world as a free human being, because there's very, very, very few of us that do. And the ones that do, it's always the same. I have owned the crap that I gave out to people. That's what grace is. That's what to say with this reading. You know, I could tell in June you've got huge energy going on, Aries. And because Mars is in Cancer, it's going to do with your emotional nature, your love nature, your family, your roots, your foundations. And the criteria always should be, do I want to live in this earth as a free human being without this debris of crap that I've left behind me? And if the answer is yes, then you need to do the work of recovery. Anyhow, I'm sorry, this might only be for one person. Loads of love, Aries, and take care. Bye.